Hi. Okay, I just wanted to come on here and first and foremost apologize for posting a couple of videos like 5 years ago and then just completely disappearing. I'm not somebody who spends really any time on YouTube, and so I posted those videos like hoping to help somebody out who was in a similar situation, but then just never thought of it as a back and forth like commenting type of thing, or even thought that anyone would watch the videos. So if you've reached out to me in the last 5 years and I have not responded, I'm so sorry. It's not because I'm purposefully ignoring you. It's because I just didn't see it. I wanted to come on and give a 5-year update in case you watch the videos or are still watching and were curious what the heck happened. Backstory again, I had ovarian cyst removal surgery almost 5 years ago. I had a cyst the size of a small orange. It completely collapsed my right ovary to the point when they removed the cyst, I have 1/16 of an ovary left. It's pretty sad. But when he was in there, he also said that my endometriosis was so bad that it would be considered stage 4. So it's pretty much as bad as it gets. He said that I needed to be on Lupron or minimally a birth control to make sure that I didn't have a reoccurrence of the cyst, because I guess that's pretty much what happens. Once you have the surgery, you tend to get another cyst a year or two down the road. I didn't want to go on Lupron and I didn't want to go on birth control. So I asked him, could I just take the more conservative route and then see what happens? And if I have to be on the medication in a year from now because it's going south again, then I'll do what I got to do. So he was like, sure, but you're probably going to be needing me in a year or two to do surgery again. So I watched this video on YouTube. Apparently I'm only on YouTube when I'm desperate, of this girl who lit 2 tampons on fire. One was a regular tampon that we've all used and grown up with, and 2 was an organic cotton tampon. She lit them both on fire at the same time, and the one that was the regular tampon lit up in black flames. It was so gross. And then the one that was organic cotton was just fizzling next to it. Same time. It was super powerful. It was a visual that I needed that I never even thought about. Organic tampons, I didn't even know they existed. What kind of hippie stuff is that? But it just hit me and I was like, okay. She talked about how they use chlorine and bleach and formaldehyde and all these nasty chemicals in these regular tampons, and they don't have to be regulated because we're not technically eating them or, consuming them. But if you know anything about the vagina, you know that it absorbs what you put in there. So the fact that we're just putting all of this crap up there and not expecting that we're going to have all these radical problems is just kind of insane. There's been a rise in endometriosis, infertility, ovarian cysts, all these issues. And yet somehow we're shocked that it has anything to do with the tampons. Anyways, at that moment, I committed to using the 100% organic cotton tampons. What did I have to lose? Pleasantly surprised at my first appointment, he did an ultrasound, 0 signs of any cyst. Yay! Thought it could be a coincidence, but might as well keep up with what I was doing just in case. Year 2, same thing. No cysts, not having any issues with my endometriosis, no problem. What the heck? The doctor was really shocked and surprised and just affirmed what I was doing. He's like, I'm definitely going to tell my patients about you because there's a lot of women in this situation. Anywho, 5 years later, I just had my most recent appointment probably 2 months ago. I have a new OB doctor because mine retired. Same situation. She knows my case. She's like, I don't know how you're getting these results. And I was like, honestly, not to sound like a crazy hippie, but it's the organic cotton tampons. So she just kind of gave me a really polite smile. But that's it. I don't know what else to say other than go freaking buy the organic tampons. They are worth the extra $1 or $2. Some cases, they're not even more. I used to only be able to find them at Whole Foods 5 years ago, but nowadays they have them at Target and Gelson's and quite a few places. I made videos 5 years ago about how I wanted to take dairy out of my diet and sugar and start exercising more. And while I go through seasons of doing that, I don't always stick to it. So I can't accredit these results to that diet or the fact that I've exercised like 6 months out of the 12 months in the year. So I think those videos are helpful, and I think the information that I read and why you should do those things are absolutely true. I just haven't been disciplined enough to do that in my life. But I'm almost glad that I haven't been, because that just more so points to the fact that it is the tampons, it is the cotton that I'm using now for the last 5 years, rather than the chemically loaded crap that I was using for my whole life before that. So go out and buy them. And don't just take that little video that I talked about into consideration. 2 years ago on Halloween, and I'm not just making this up, on Halloween to make it sound more dramatic and scary. It was scary, but it happened on Halloween. I started my period and I forgot to bring tampons because I didn't think I was going to start that early. And I had to borrow a tampon from my sister, and it was just like a Playtex regular tampon. I put it in, and within about 20 or 30 minutes, I had cold sweats, chills. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I was in the bathroom, just standing there waiting to throw up. I felt so sick. I couldn't even take my son trick-or-treating. He went off with my husband. I was so sad. I'm sitting in my parents' house, just thinking I have stomach flu or I ate something bad. And I thought, what if this is something to do with the tampon? Could it be? No, but I might as well take it out and try. I took it out. Within 20 or 30 minutes, as quick as the symptoms came, they disappeared. So much so that I got to run out and go trick-or-treating with my son. And it was so validating to have such a radical experience for myself, but also really scary, because if my body reacted so strongly to those chemicals, what was I doing for 15 years? No doubt in my mind, that is why I have endometriosis, and that is why I had that cyst, was because of those awful, awful chemicals that I was shoving in my body once a month. So that story might sound made up to you. I have no reason to lie to strangers on the internet. I just want people to go out and try this. What do you have to lose? You may not be in the same situation that I've been in. You might have another cyst despite using organic cotton tampons, but at least your body's going to be better off with that much less chemicals in your body. I really feel like it's going to be the whole cigarettes thing. You know how they used to tell people cigarette smoking is good for you and it's not going to give you cancer. And then nowadays we're that was so stupid. How did we not know that caused cancer? I really feel like there's going to be a lot of links to feminine products that we had no idea until recently. So go out, make the commitment, buy the tampons, be good to your body that way. I promise you won't be worse off for it. And God willing, you might be in the same situation where you get to feel super excited to go to your OB appointment every year and get good news rather than bad news. And no surgeries and no drugs that you have to be on. So good luck. And again, I'm so sorry that I didn't answer your questions. I'll try to be better at answering questions, but I'm not really on the YouTube, so I'm an old lady. If I don't respond, that is why.